understand it. But when my opinions are overlooked, like how the entertainment comment was just completely overlooked and not taken accounted for, that's when I got on the defense.
So, and that's what made me come up. Let me ask you a quick question about the nation. Do those men have wives?
Yes, sir.
Most of the men have wives?
Yes, sir. There's not enough women in there.
Do they have large complaints about their wives?
No, sir. And if they do, they go to their captain, and that's taken care of.
So when the men got it together, those women they brought in figured out they was going to be a part of this. They was going to have to operate in this way, right?
Well, what was that again? Can you repeat that?
So when the men got it together, got a process together, a discipline and a structure, the women that wanted to be a part of that came and got on board, and that's it, right?
Well, this is the misnomer about the nation. The first thing the nation did was get the women together first. It's just like the club. Think about what I'm going to say. You let the woman in free, what's going to happen for that club?
It bring men.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
you bring the women in and you clean them up and you cover them up, and then when them men hit that door and they see these other strong men standing there, knowing they can't come in there and play that I'm gonna tap on the thigh and all that other bullshit, they know they got to come in there correct. And then they clean themselves up.
Who got the women together?
Elijah Muhammad.
So a man came in, got some women together, and then was able to bring more men in.
Well, so it was like done at the first. It was like done that it was simultaneously done. When he knocked on the door, Master Farad that knocked on the door was a woman who answered the door. And then later on, Elijah Muhammad came in. But what I'm trying to say is, when the women understood that they were the mother of all creation, especially the black woman, because I'm specifically speaking of the black woman here. She's the mother of all creation. She becomes the first teacher before that child ever take breath. And so the importance was to get her head right so she can birth in the new generation of men and women who these men and women were starting to represent, cleaning themselves up, regardless of all the racism and all this other ism and superiority and all that. We made black men know who they were. We stood them up. And see, when we stood them up, we cleaned them up. And we did the same thing for the women. And the nation has always been a lack of women versus men, because men's ready to come in. They're ready to come in. So even the younger men. So the older men sometimes even step back and don't even try to court the younger women and leave them women for younger men to have decent wives. So we sacrifice sometimes ourselves to make sure that the young men coming in has something decent. But that's why I say it's hand in hand how we have to do this thing, and this finger pointing of each other that's been going on for the last 14, 13 years. It was necessary. Now, some of you might say, well, why did you think it was necessary? Because I'm going to tell you something that probably never been said. But the minister said it. The black woman has never been put under the microscope. Everybody tell the black man what's wrong with him. Every race, every color, every woman, every country. They always tell us what's wrong with us. But the black woman has never been put under the microscope. And for the last 14 years, she's been put under the microscope. And she didn't like it. But she got to understand we've been put on the microscope ever since we got off that damn ship. And what have happened is they have changed the nature of the woman to be more masculine. I hear y'all talk about this sometimes. But they had to do that. They had to show the woman that she didn't have a man. Even back in the days, they used to make women beat men.
Light a fire up on your ass, ain't it?
Right, and to show her you don't have no man to protect you. So that's why the black woman walks around here talking about, I don't need no man. You ain't can't protect me. I can protect myself. I can call 911. You can't call 911 when you're dead, though. So you got to watch your mouth. And it's just like Minister Farrakhan says in the last show I did with, the black woman's mouth has become a snake pit.
Snake pit.
And this is the teacher, the first teacher of our children. We gonna have to correct that, man.
And I just as a woman to take accountability for that. Right before my child's father died, he accidentally killed himself. I had the worst tongue ever because of how I was taught. I didn't know any better. And it wasn't until that happened to me that I really had to start empathizing with men, and like, especially the men that was lower class, you know, the men that's, you know, that they put out there, the ones that been to jail trying to do right, trying to do whatever. And when I talk to my friends, I try to tell them we're spiritual soldiers, they're physical soldiers. So your words affects him more and just as much as his domestic violence affects you. His physical hits affect you. Your words hit him just as hard. So I always tell my friends, be careful about what you say and how you say it, because I believe that. And I do see a lot of women doing that. I can agree with that. And it's
sister,
like spreading like wildfire. I agree with
that. Sister, and especially how you speak like that around boys. We've been to highlight girls now and to step over boys and step on boys. You don't have to make girls great by trying to kill the male. You can make them both great. But that haven't been done in the last 20 and 30 years. And so, JR know the first time I came on this show, and I have came on this show and I have acted an ass. But I don't know if I was mad that day and I just wasn't taking no shit.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, you changed, brother.
But what I'm saying, I'm spiritual now. I'm getting back in my spiritual realm.
Amen.
And so it's going to be hell to pay on these YouTube streets. I'm not talking about the entertainment channels because JR know I come from entertainment. I worked in Hollywood for 35 years. So I'm always have some kind of entertainment value and understand that black people like to be entertained. But in that segment of it being entertained, we're going to have some truth in it. We're going to have some growth in it. We're going to have to change this thing the way it's going, because we don't. I'm telling you, we're leaving our children a ticket they won't be able to pay for.